recently announced a deal with Rwanda, which will see asylum seekers being sent to the East African country from London. The UK says that the plan will stop people smugglers who are sending desperate migrants to treacherous or on treacherous journeys across the English Channel. UK opposition politicians and refugee groups have condemned the decision as inhumane, unworkable and a waste of public money. For more on this, we're joined by a spokesperson for Rwanda's National Congress, Dr. Etienne Mutabazi. Dr. Mutabazi, a very good evening to you. You're joining us by phone tonight. Welcome to News at Prime. So are people right to say that basically this is the UK shirking off its responsibility to asylum seekers and basically trading them off to Rwanda for a price?
Thank you so much. Good evening. It's my pleasure to speak to you. The deal that we have helped of raised at least five issues I would like to mention if the time so allow. There is a moral issue because these are the lives of human beings, some of whom are seeking better life in Europe in terms of ordinary migration. And this is a phenomenon we cannot stop. And again, there are refugees who are running away from persecution, and these are under the United Nations Convention pertaining to refugees of July 28, 1951, and its subsequent protocol. So meaning that when you look at the moral and ethical issue around this, there's nothing you can put on the table. Also, when you look at the legality, and that's what I mentioned, and even the legitimacy, remember this is a deal which was negotiated between quite a few individuals, because I do not know whether the Parliament of Rwanda, for instance, has ever had an opportunity to sit down and discuss about the issue. In the UK, we saw at least a parliamentarian discussing it, but nothing in Rwanda. But the second issue, yes, please.
Defenders of this deal, sir, say those who are criticizing it do so without offering any other solution, and that ultimately, if it's going to save these asylum seekers from human traffickers, for example, and making a dangerous journey on rubber dinghies, as we've seen in the past, then it's the best way to deal with the issue.
No, in any event, Rwanda is not very well positioned to bring a solution. Whether President Kagame states loud and time and again that he has a solution, he does not have. This is a country which is only 338 kilometers square, is a poor country economically, and the human rights record in that country is really alarming, because Rwanda last year received, even from the United Kingdom, many recommendations during the Universal Periodical Review by the Human Rights Council, among others. And you have read the report, one of which is the repression beyond the borders, where Rwanda is portrayed as a country which goes after people to kill them. And those are facts. And you have read many reports from Amnesty International, which is a UK-based organization, the Human Rights Watch, an American organization which has been declared persona non grata in Rwanda, even the State Department in the United States. All those are pointing to Rwanda as a predator of human rights. Remember in 2018, while President Kagame was chairperson of the African Union, refugees from the DRC in the Kiziba settlement were shot at when they claimed to have their ration raised from $3 to $6 per month. So how can we then say the country is capable? It is not. This scheme is only a money-making scheme. We call it in law a human trafficking deal, and unfortunately, it is regrettable that these countries that used to teach us about human rights are the ones which are behind or the whole of this initiative. I do not want to extend on this, but there are many issues I would like to raise. If you still have time in front of you, I'm ready to share them.
What are those issues, sir, as briefly as you can, because we do have time constraints?
the other issues, for instance, that this is not the first time it happened. Before, Rwanda has tried to deal with Israel in 2013, and these were quite kept secret until researchers started looking into the matter to find out that refugees who have been denied asylum in Israel were sent to Rwanda secretly, and they would arrive in Kigali, being received at the Kigali International Airport